94, what the? Common to very rare. Alright, we all saw it coming, come on. The Ghoul was 100% gonna get nerfed. I wanted to make a video on how he became the best killer, and I stand by that. Compared to all the other killers in the game, the state of the nurse not being as powerful as she once was, I think the Ghoul was 100% for the last 2 weeks, the best killer in the game. There's no doubt in my mind. You see clips like this where he has infinite range and he can injure so freaking fast. If you ran stuff like Hex Blood Favor, Hex Undying together, or just even Blood Favor by itself, pallets being the only weakness for the killer, and even then you had to pre-drop it, they'd just break it with Brutal Strength or Fire Up, or again, they just wouldn't be able to drop it because of Blood Favor and you'd catch up instantly in seconds. Made it, in my opinion, the Ghoul 100% the best killer in the game. You see clips like this, I'll show you really quick here. Oh my god. Boom! Oh my god! Yeah. I really don't think there was a chance that there was any other killer, even the nurse, that came close. Obviously, every killer has counterplay. The nurse, you break line of sight, but you have aura perks to get rid of that. The Ghoul, you drop a pallet, and then you have perks like Brutal Strength and Fire Up and Blood Favor to, negate that and all that stuff. The difference was, with the nurse, for aura, and you go through a thing, you still have the cooldown and then pick him up, and you're so slow. The Ghoul, you drop a pallet and you use a perk, again, like Brutal Strength, to just break it so fast, you catch up instantly. And again, the first hit was so easy to land, it still is. Here's a match that I just played as the new changes came out. It's still super easy. The nerfs, I don't think were too bad. It's still super fast, still good for map traversability. The hits are still super easy to come. The cooldown for the in-range effect, whatever, couple seconds, you really don't notice it, in my opinion, just because of how often you're injuring someone with your tentacles, so it's whatever. I think the biggest change is the pallet dropping right here. When someone drops a pallet and you break it, you have to wait a couple seconds. I think it's like a second and a half, 2 seconds before you can use your power. And I think for me, that is obvious. Again, being that the biggest, I can't speak. That being the biggest counter for the Ghoul makes sense. So they're going to obviously increase that to make it a little bit more difficult. I still think that puts him below the nurse now. It's the second best killer in the game, in my opinion, personally. Again, I do think if that wasn't there, even with these changes, he'd still be the best. That one small change making his counter slightly better. Again, you can still catch up like you see in the clips here that I'm showing you. I'm going to show the whole match that I think. But yeah, I think 100% the Ghoul was slightly better and now is slightly worse. He's still S tier, still top 3, still top 2, still, in my opinion, the second best killer in the game. But due to that one small change of the palette, I think he's become slightly worse than the nurse now. Maybe you won't agree. Maybe you will agree, who knows. Maybe you won't agree with my original take of him being better, who knows. Again, I wanted to make this video earlier, but I feel like everybody knew a nerf was going to come because it was tough playing against this killer. But without further ado, here it is, my one match playing as the newer version with all these changes. And I still destroy the other team, so it doesn't really matter. Enjoy. The range are really good. Bad. Down. I don't have to yell out on it again. So crazy. I see why they did it. So I could be caught up there. You're in third person. He's still S tier, I think, personally. But yeah, he's not better than the nurse. Much better than Vecna still, though. He's gonna get the pallet out of the way. I pointed out getting rid of the pallet as well as the down. Well, good for any killer. Against this killer, again, pre-dropping pallets being the only counter, removing the counter right away, especially with the down, was just a good thing. Nice body blow. Cool down, also drop pallet down. That's blocked. That hard to yes. One there, one there. That's 20 seconds, whatever. I thought by far the Ghoul was the best killer when he came out for those first 2 weeks. I don't think we've seen killer as strong since, older nurse. Because again, the big thing was you could just destroy every single pallet. Or if you ran Undying and Blood Favor, you could not drop pallets, and pallets were by far his biggest weakness. 100%, there's no change in my mind. Again, being able to, I've had games where everyone dropped pallets, because dropping the pallet first was really good, and I just broke every single pallet, 17 or 16 pallets, and I still had 4 or 5 gens left, because you can catch up just like that. That cooldown slows him down, you can get to another loop. That's the biggest thing. While there's a small timer, it's still there. I think that lowers him, and that's the biggest thing. The range or whatever, you got add-ons to fix that, even if it's still 1 meter from before, sure. The cooldown, sure, no one really, again, you get your power so easily from that, I think. He's still S tier, still in the top 3, maybe second, maybe still better than Vecna, but I don't think he's the #1 killer anymore. That's my thoughts. And as I echo my thoughts from half an hour ago, yeah, I think the Ghoul, very good. The nerfs, not too big. The pallet one was the only big one, and even then, again, when I mean nerf or counter, does it mean it's an amazing counter? Absolutely not. Again, just because you break line of sight against a nurse doesn't mean she loses right away. She can still find you and catch you. That's just the only thing you can really do against a nurse. Same thing with the Ghoul. The only thing you can really do is pre-drop a pallet. And then again, you just break it with brutal strength, and now it takes 2 extra seconds, and then you catch up instantly. Not a big counter, not a good counter. It's the only counter. But still, I think that just puts him slightly down below the nurse now, for me personally, just because you can't catch up in seconds. Kind of like the nurse. If you drop a pallet against the nurse, she goes through it, catch up in seconds. The Ghoul, again, you just catch up in a second after breaking it. Now, you have to break it, wait a bit, then catch up in 0.2 seconds, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless. Maybe leave a like, maybe leave a nice comment down below, maybe hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell. I'll see y'all next time for another Dead by Daylight video. Bye, guys.